Preseason games have come and gone, and the regular season is just a couple of days away. And it's time for my annual, very early, season-ending final standings predictions. And here they are. So, welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Let's start off out west with the Pacific Division. In 8th spot, I think it's going to be the San Jose Sharks. You know, it could be the Ducks, could be the Sharks. I'm going to go with the Sharks. They got rid of Carlson, got back Mike Hoffman. Kind of like in a rebuild and looking to finish at the bottom of the league and maybe, get that first overall pick. I think they finish in 8th. 7th, right behind them as the Ducks. Anaheim, they just lost a player, sort of important player. That could affect, them trying to climb up the ladder. I don't think they're ready to do that yet anyways, and I think they finish in 7th. Just ahead of them, in 6th, Vancouver. Vancouver, they have Demko. I know there's some goaltending needed there. I don't think they got that in Casey DeSmith, but maybe they did. I think there's a lot of... I don't think the players are happy, and they've got a lot of work to do there in Vancouver, and I don't think they move out of the 6th spot where they were last year. In 5th, I think Calgary drops down to there because do you know what you're going to get with Calgary? Are they going to be a playoff team, or are they not going to be a playoff team? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. There's a lot of turmoil there, and some players need to step up, and will they do that? I don't know. I don't think they can leapfrog over the 4 teams ahead of them. In 4th, Seattle. I think Seattle's doing the right things, building a team the right way, having success that way as well, and I think they get to keep their 4th spot in the division and make the playoffs. In 3rd spot, same thing for LA. You add in Dubois. Does that make them jump up 1 or 2 spots in the division? I don't think so. But I don't think it makes them drop down either, and I think LA solidly in there, number 3. 2nd spot in the division, I think, goes to Vegas. They won the division last year, I believe, and they also won the Stanley Cup. Will they repeat as Stanley Cup champions? I don't know, but I don't think they repeat as the division champions. So they're going to be in 2nd. And in 1st, that leaves the Edmonton Oilers. And I think this year is the Oilers' year to at least do some damage and take a little bit of a step forward. And they'll start that by winning the division. Will they win the Cup? I don't think so, but they'll win the division. That's what I think. Let's move on to the Metro Division. I think the top 2 teams are going to be really good. And then I'm kind of falls off from there. So we're going to start on the bottom at 8th spot. It's going to be Columbus Blue Jackets. The hiring and then resignation of Mike Babcock with 2 weeks to go before preseason, you got to think that throws them off a little bit, having to hire a new coach and new philosophy, maybe new system. So I think that's going to screw them up. I don't think their defense is very good, and that won't help either. So I think Columbus is on the bottom. Next up in 7th, I think, is Philadelphia. The Flyers, still their defense is kind of not very good. While they do have Carter Hart, I think there's questions there in the goaltending. So there's that. They don't really have any star power there yet either. And I don't think they're going to move up the ladder at all. And they're going to be in 7th. It's in 6th spot. I think we have the Washington Capitals, who basically, who's there still? Alex Ovechkin chasing the goal-scoring record. I think the season's going to be a lot about feeding the puck to Alex Ovechkin. And I don't know if that's going to really make for a lot of winning. So I think they just stay in 6th. In 5th, the New York Rangers. There seems to be some turmoil there with the Rangers, I think with the Lafreniere situation. I don't know if they're as good as we think they are. And I kind of think they're going to be in 5th and not make the playoffs. In 4th, and I think this is for the last time, because I think they might have trouble after this season to make the playoffs, but Pittsburgh Penguins, with captain Sidney Crosby sort of just willing them along. I think they're going to surprise like they sometimes do, and they're going to make the playoffs. They just missed last season. I think this season they just make it. In 3rd, in this division, the New York Islanders. They've got question marks, throughout the lineup and like their special teams power play anyway. They don't score a ton of goals, but they're good defensively. Goaltending is good. I think it's good enough to make third in the division. In second, it's a toss-up here between the Devils and the Hurricanes, and I kind of think the Hurricanes sort of don't win that comparison, and they're going to finish in second in the division. They got a strong team, but they've got some weaknesses there, and I just don't think they match up enough with the Devils to take the division. And that leaves in number one the New Jersey Devils. I think the Devils are an up and coming. They maybe were. They did that last year. I think they're for real now. Led by Jack Hughes. They got good goaltending, good defense, and solid forwards, and they got everything. They're going to be a contender, and they're going to win this division. That's what I think. Let's move over to the Central Division. And on the bottom there, I think it's going to be the same team as last year. That's Chicago, even though they did add some players, Taylor Hall, Corey Perry, and obviously Connor Bedard. I don't think it's enough to move them out of the basement here, so they'll finish in 8th. In 7th, I think St. Louis doesn't have enough to be fully competitive, at least for a playoff spot. And I really think that they drop down further, and they're in 7th. And that means in 6th place, I have Arizona. Arizona getting a little better, and I think they're good enough here to move up a little bit. I think just the one spot. But they do move up, and they're going to be in 6th and a little more competitive, a little bit better team. We're going to see Logan Cooley. They have a good goaltender, so I think we'll see them there. In 5th, Winnipeg Jets. A lot of turmoil there. Players who kind of reluctantly are playing there this year. That's what I take it anyways. Scheifele, Hellebuck, they're not very happy there. Blake Wheeler gone to the Rangers. I just don't think they're as good as they were last year. They just made the playoffs last year. They did, but I don't think they do this year. In 4th, Nashville. Nashville under the GM. What's his name? Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz doing a good job so far. It takes time to rebuild, and I think they're getting a little bit better and good enough here to jump over the Winnipeg Jets and take 4th and make the playoffs. In 3rd, the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota, they have Kaprizov. They have decent goaltending. They're a good team. I don't think they're good enough to take over to take over Dallas's spot or to win the division, but they're going to be in the playoffs in 3rd place in the division. In 2nd spot, we have Dallas. Dallas is a good team. They've got some problems, some problem child players. I believe in Ben and in Seguin. I think, though, they're definitely good enough in this division to rise to near the top. And I love their goaltending, Ottinger. And, so I think Dallas comes in 2nd here. And that means in 1st place is Colorado. The Avalanche, I definitely believe the best team in this division. You got McKinnon. He's actually going to have 2 ex-Habs on his wings in Drouin and Lehkonen. Let's see how that goes. But I think overall they're the best team here in this division, and they're going to win it. So that's the Central Division. So we'll finish this off with the Atlantic Division, and we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to go from number 1 down to the bottom, and we're going to lead off with Toronto. Surprise, surprise. I'm saying Toronto will win this division. They may even win the league and get the President's Trophy, but my love for them hasn't changed. I don't think they'll do any damage really in the playoffs. They are built for regular season. If that, and I don't see how they don't finish in 1st here. In 2nd, surprise, I'm having the Buffalo Sabres finish in 2nd. I think they're going to surprise a lot of teams. So, I think Florida, who might be probably a lot of people think will be there, they're going to have a bit of a hangover from losing the Stanley Cup. So I think that's going to affect them a lot. And I think Buffalo's got a lot of good young players. They've got a good goalie. They've got some good defense. I think they're going to put it together, and they're actually going to have some success this season. In third, as I've kind of just said, I think it's going to be Florida. I think they're going to have a bit of a hangover from losing the Stanley Cup, coming back close, being that Cinderella team, and then they just didn't make it. The goaltending, Bobrovsky, that's his name. I almost had it there. Hasn't had the best regular season record, I think. So I think they might suffer a little bit there, but I think overall they're going to end up in third. And one of the reasons is that in fourth is going to be Tampa Bay. And I think the reason that Tampa is going to be in fourth is mostly that Vasilevsky is going to miss 2 to 3 months to start the season. And that's going to be a big problem for them. So I don't know what they're going to get to replace him and how they do that. I think there's a good chance that they could even fall out of the playoffs and be in fifth. But, Stamkos isn't happy there. There's problems there. But I think in fifth, the team that's going to be there is going to be Boston. I think Boston's going to suffer from the loss of Bergeron. And I don't think it's the same team if you give the captaincy to Marchand. To me, I don't know. That doesn't work. And I think it's going to affect them. And I think they were I had them as finishing out of the playoffs last year, which didn't happen. And I'm going to go with it goes on this year, and they finish in fifth. In sixth, it's going to be Ottawa. Ottawa is an improved team. They are going to be better, but I don't know if they have enough to leapfrog out of the sixth spot. Depending on how far down Tampa and Boston might fall, it'll depend on what happens with Ottawa, but I say they're going to be in sixth. In seventh, so just like last year, it's going to be a similar finish, and Detroit is going to be in seventh. It's a gut feeling. I don't think they've done enough. I think their rebuild kind of might have even taken a bit of a fall off, and I don't think it's going to be enough for them to move even past Ottawa, so they're going to be in seventh. And that means in eighth, once again, is the home team, the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be tough for them to leapfrog over anybody, and I do believe Montreal Canadiens will be an improved team. They'll play better, they'll surprise some teams, and they're going to win more games than they did last year, but it's not going to be enough to leapfrog over anybody. And even if they do manage to leapfrog over any teams, I don't see them doing it like more than one team, so possibly they could finish in seventh. I don't think so. Montreal in eighth. And that is it. Thanks for watching. If you like this, give a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please share this video.